What's up, my AoE anarchists? Risendragon here with a fun video for you, and today we're taking a break from our Celtic domination to go to another civ with a hard C at the beginning, and that is the Khmer. This is a South Asian civilization. They are siege and elephant civs, and they've got some really interesting tricks up their sleeve. And I'm going to say this, if you're a beginner, I don't know if this would be the right civ for you, because there's so many traps you can fall into, but maintaining the build orders that you're usually following, you should have some success with the Khmer. So let's get into what they're all about. One of the big things is they don't have any prerequisites. There are no buildings required to advance to the next age or to unlock other buildings. So there are no prerequisite buildings. You can literally just build you could literally just build like like an archery range or a stable without building a barracks. Do I recommend it? No. But you could still if you wanted to. Their farmers don't require mills or town centers to drop off food. That doesn't mean you shouldn't stick close to your town center just in case something goes wrong. Battle elephants move 10% faster, and we're going to get to that in a second. And villagers can garrison in houses, so they don't have to go to the TC in order to shelter in place, so to speak. Their unique unit is the ballista elephant, which is basically a mounted scorpion. Their unique techs are tusk swords, battle elephants with +3 attack, and double crossbow in imp. When you get ballista elephants and scorpions firing 2 projectiles, in their team bonus, which applies to you, is scorpions +1 range. Now, the cool thing I like about the Khmer is they're incredibly flexible. You can easily do an archer rush, you can do a man-at-arms rush, because they've got all the upgrades for that, save for a few things. They've got the arson, they don't have the squires, they don't have the supplies, so their infantry is pretty weak late game, but early game, yeah, you might be able to get away with it. But this is where they shine. They're stables. You could literally go knights. If you ever watch Poop Lord's videos, and I'm gonna give a shout out to Poop Lord for giving me the idea to play the Khmer, you can easily go like fast castle into knights, and you can easily rush, and that's what we try to do in the upcoming game. But they get the bloodlines, they get the husbandry, and that applies to their battle elephants and stuff. So these are fun things to have. They have a really, really, really strong elephant line. Speaking of battle elephants, they're slow and heavy cavalry, but man, do they pack a punch. 12 damage. So they're not high speed, but I think with some of the latest upgrades or updates, I should say, they did get, not nerfed, but they did get buffed a little bit when it comes to the conversion stuff. They're also a siege civilization, so basically their siege is incredible. Even though they don't have the siege onager, their scorps are absolutely phenomenal, and unfortunately you don't get to see them in this game. I'm just going to throw it out there. You don't get to see them in this game. But with the ballista, or ballistics I should say, which basically fire accurately, these things become absolutely beast, and I think Hera has done a bunch of videos on them. So anyways, scorpions, heavy scorpions, they get all the upgrades for their stuff, save for the siege onager. And as far as their blacksmith is concerned, they get everything for blacksmith except for plate mail armor, so again, it doesn't really feed into their infantry all that much, but basically they get all the upgrades, so that's really awesome. Dock, their navies aren't too bad. They don't get the heavy demo ship, nor do they get shipwrights. So water maps, they might struggle a little bit. They don't get arrow slits, nor do they get bombard towers, but they get everything else. They don't get treadmill crane either, which is kind of a bummer. But the ballistics is the big thing, because unique naval units and mounted archers, town centers, castles, galleys, and mounted archers fire more accurately at moving targets. And of course, you also can get chemistry. They get a +1 attack strength as well. They get all the towers except for bombard towers. The castle, like I said, ballista elephants. They're basically a scorpion and an elephant combined. Insanely good late game stuff. Tusk swords, we've already gone over that. Their monastery is actually pretty kick butt too. They don't get heresy, which is kind of a bummer. They don't get atonement either, nor do they get block printing, but they do get pretty much everything else. So their monks aren't terrible. They're actually not that bad. They get pretty much everything as far as the other upgrades are concerned. So with the Khmer, you can be really, really flexible with your strategy and play to your strengths. I mean, that's really kind of the big thing. My strengths lately have seemed to have been in infantry, playing infantry civs like the Celts. But this one, we actually went for a hodgepodge of pretty much everything that we could think of. I didn't really have a strategy with this game. I was just like, let's just go with this. I wanted to have a little bit of everything. So we went a little bit crazy with the Khmer tonight. So if you like what you see, please like, please subscribe, leave some feedback for me. I'm always looking to improve my game. So without further ado, let's get into the action. And we're going to pick up the action, speed it up 4 times in Dark Age, just so you can kind of get the feel for what I do without being bored by the tedium of it. And then once we get to Feudal, then we'll start to slow it down a little bit. But so far so good. We're against Rodrigo, 35 P4RT4. Notice we are good 3.5 minutes in, and only now do we hit idle time on the TC. Mainly because I was distracted bringing the boar in. These kids kind of follow suit. I had a hard time finding the sheep in this game, or in this case the llamas. So I just went for a mill right away just to gather some stuff. And then we got housed for a little bit. And that's something I'm working on. But I am quite impressed with how I've been doing bringing the boars in. That's been a highlight of my game recently. So yeah, what I'm trying to go for here. Notice they're already behind. They're already behind about 4 vills. We go up with 19. We get the loom, and I think I stall a little too much. No, I go right to feudal. Okay, cool. So minute 13, idle TC. Got to clean it up. Still working on the idleness. I mean, it's gonna come with the territory. I start walling off. I start adding some houses, and I still find myself getting housed later in the game. But we're against the Franks, by the way, who are a cav civ. Had one of my more... Ooh, excuse me. Got tangled up there. Had a few devastating losses against the Franks early on in my career. We're in feudal now, so we're going to slow it down. So yeah, I get the barracks going. I get a militia and a spear going just because I want to get a little bit of flexibility there. I know that with the Franks, and I should be scouting. Actually, let's see if you see what I see. Yeah, so here, I got to do a little bit better job with scouting. It's almost like, I think at this point, I was like, oh, I came across them. I just got to see what they're doing. So, you know, pro tip, scout a little bit better than I do. Do as I say, not as I do. But notice, too, they've caught up with vills, but we've got... we still have more in the queue, and we're getting a range. So, that's fun. Now, in reality, I probably... And again, I wasn't sure whether or not my opponent was going to rush. So that's why I walled fairly quickly. And in watching a few games earlier this week, I found that, like, you know, you get a nice defense going, you set yourself up defensively, you're in good shape. And that's what we try to do here. But again, hodgepodge of an army. We only got 2. I was a little bit bummed we didn't do more, but it is what it is. Oh, hey, we didn't really idle the TC all that much, and only now do they go feudal. So this is one of those things where I think I have to be a little bit more productive, so to speak. And also, too, I did snag a few of their sheepies. But here, I notice I don't really see much in the way of... like, they don't have any military buildings or anything like that. So I'm getting the stable going, and as you're going to see, I do idle it quite a bit because I'm going ultimately for the knight strategy. And I do get some archers coming in, and I do end up building a gate there as well. So, again, trying to be flexible. I'm not sure what they're going to throw at me. So I'm just trying to be... You know, just trying my best to make sure that I'm being as flexible as possible. Now, notice here, this farm right here, Khmer do not need a nearby mill or a TC to draw food in. So you get this one little patch out here, and you might be in good shape later on as far as your stuff is concerned. Now you might be asking also, why don't I Why am I not pushing deer? Just simply not comfortable with it at this point. I've been practicing against AI all week, but I'm just still not at a point where I'm like, I wanna do that in a rated game. I've tried it a few times, and I do go for wheelbarrow here, just simply because it may have gone a little bit early, but I didn't want to idle the TC too much. I think I was low on food or something, and I just kind of went with it. So, anyways, also too, if I'm kind of not scratchy, but kind of like at a loss. I just got a new monitor. I upgraded from like a super small. It's like a 17-inch monitor. Now we're up to a 27-inch monitor. And I'm gonna tell you, it made all the difference in this game. It really did. It really made a huge difference. Idling the TC way too much. I think I'm just simply kind of trying to get the economy booming, and I'm also gonna go and kind of scout out a little bit. I think I'm not looking to attack with this hodgepodge of an army. But what I am looking to do is just kind of see what Rodrigo has and go from there. So, yeah. Notice, too, yeah, I don't put down a lot because I'm now going for... I'm going to go feudal. Or castle, I'm sorry. I'm going castle now. So, yeah, going up around 19, so we'll hit castle around 20, just a tick past 21 minutes. And I just bring these cats back, and in reality I should be throwing down some scouts, but I'm really saving the resources for knights. I really want to get knights in, and notice they're not pushing the issue either. And now I go for my eco upgrades, just because I know I've got them. And also too, you're gonna notice, look at how much food is being collected by the Khmer as we're going. And also too, my opponent is just really floating a ton of resources. They could easily be going up to castle by this point, but yet they've got the barracks, and I don't know what they're doing here, but we take advantage. And I'm finding that against faster opponents, I'm finding I do really well against opponents like this, because, you know, we just come in, even though we're down vills, they're more focused on their eco at this point, whereas I'm about to go deep into my army. Also, too, this poor scout just... They're trying to do the scouting stuff, but they're not... It's not really happening for them. Yeah, they're looking for a way in. I think they're looking for a way in. They may have one right here. Yeah, but they just come back around, and we go from there. We don't even do... I mean, we go up to castle here, but now... And again, I think in the future, I definitely need to not stall so much. You know, get aggressive and get that. I get the first kill here. I take down their scout. Now they have no army whatsoever. And this one comes in with the stables, and I even get... Do I get a town center going? Yes, I do. I do build a second TC. So there we go. We do idle it quite a bit, but... We get this going, and now we start to sing with our knights. Our knights come in, and this is really where we start to turn the tide quite a bit. I'm saying a lot tonight. I'm sorry, it's been kind of a long day. I do say though, my the school where I teach, we have a Mario Kart team, and we made it to semifinals today, so I'm really proud of the young lads playing really well, and really happy for them. So we get the knights going, and in theory, again, you know, Poop Lord has done a few videos on like 12-minute nights, and I'm like, kind of a meme strat, but I'm like, yeah, whatever. If it works for them, it works for them, and we just go from there. So here, I'm noticing, okay, huge score difference. And you'll see, I mean, we have the army, so let's just push. Let's just go. You know, we've got 12 army. We've got a pretty wide, that is an AI army and a half right there. Look at all the knights, and I think I upgraded to pikes, and we got some archers, and we have Bob the militiaman. Gary the militiaman. Maybe Marvin. No, that's going to be his name, Marvin. Marvin the militiaman. That's Immediate's name. You start just kind of harassing their houses and stuff, saying like, hey, I'm here. For those of you that are stock car racing fans, there's this kind of theory in stock car racing where if you're trying to get around someone, you get the three taps. You know, first tap is to let you know that you're there. Second tap is to let you know, hey, I'm gonna move you. If I have to hit you a third time, you're going for a spin. Do I even take out their boar? No, I just take out their lumber camp, and I took out a bunch of vills. Yeah, I took out a bunch of vills too, so that's something. So now their eco starts to get harmed by the fact that I've got, and they go there. They got a spear. Poor spear. It goes down. And yeah, we also have the upgrades too. So, I take out their mining camp. So hey, fun there. So actually, no, we only have one eco kill. In perfect formation there, by the way. I noticed too, I've got, because I don't know if they're going to throw stuff at me, but I'm throwing more knights their way, and now the TCs are humming, and we're in very, very, very good shape right now. Look at all this. I mean, yeah, they're just kind of around, and I go Scorched Earth. Wait, yes, I do. I take out their farms. I take out their farming. So I take out their eco. That's one way to do it. Alright, now the archers go down here, I think, but yeah, they do, but that's okay, because we just kind of come in and just clean up everything else. Did Gary get a kill there? No, Marvin, that's insane. Marvin get a kill? Oh, he still doesn't have a kill. That's okay. That's okay. I take out the mill and get a little too close, fly a little too close to the sun here. So yeah, pull back the knights, and we just kind of, oh yeah, and I upgraded to crossbowman too, so total AI army here, but I don't really care, because I'm just like, eh. And notice too, our efficiency, and that's what happens when you're inefficient. Oh yeah, and I get do I get a third TC going? No, I just get a mining camp for now. But notice, look at all their idleness. Their idle economy is just, they're paralyzed at this point. They can't do a whole lot, and they look at all the resources they're floating. I mean, they're all like sitting doing nothing. So, buddy, you got to keep moving. You know, follow the wise words of Martin Luther King Jr. Oh, and I even get cav archers. I get a few cav archers in there too. Oh, there we go. I built a TC right there. Wow, I had absolutely no, and I go forward with them. I'm just like, I had absolutely no strat with this game other than just try to be as flexible as possible, and oh yeah, and I actually kind of like even pincer attack here. I go in with the cav archers and just start taking out houses, and yeah, they've got some skirms and they've got some spears, but nothing's upgraded. They have a stable, yes, but when they start taking pot shots at my crew, so I'm like, all right, we're going after you. You take out a knight, and my elephants are just starting to wreck too. And now they go for a castle, but right under the TC drop, I'm like, I mean, they've got a lot of people in there, but it doesn't really matter because I've got a lot of the armor. Oh yeah, and I even got armor upgrades too. So, and it was here that they just like they've got no army. They're swamped. They're absolutely swamped here, and they called it a GG. So, you know, I kind of feel like we could have got a little more aggressive early on, maybe even just throw more scouts. But I was just trying to get up to a castle so I could get the knights and go from there. So, let's see. Did let's see. They got their eco upgrades fairly soon. We did go. Loom was a little bit early for us. So I've been trying to get past that, trying to get into feudal before I do that. But their eco population was a little bit higher at that point. But anyway, so pretty much we're across the board better than Mr. Rodrigo here. Military, we only had three losses. Eco, we gained and bought and sold a little bit more than them. Our stone was equal, actually, believe it or not. So clearly they must have had some sort of stuff there. Notice too, we hit feudal at 10 minutes, just a shade under 10.5. They didn't hit feudal till 15:50, and they didn't hit castle till 32. So we really were, yards ahead of this person here. And even APM, we're actually winning in the APM. So overall, I could have played better. Obviously, I could have played better. I think pushing a little bit harder. Maybe our base was a little too small. But hey, second straight game, we get by without losing any vills. So very, very excited about this game. I'm probably going to try to play more with the Khmer. Probably focus a little bit more on the siege stuff, and maybe even get that going in the next match. But this one was all about just trying to see what I could do. I've been practicing with the Khmer. I've been practicing with them pretty much all week. I just wanted to see what I could do with them. So clearly this is what we can do with them. Maybe get a little more aggressive, and we'll go from there. But anyways, if you like what you saw, please please subscribe, and for those of you that are tuning out, happy hunting. See you on the battlefield.